Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got a lot of story lined up this evening for your viewing pleasure, and I'm not alone. I still have David Oku joining me this evening to talk sports together. David Oku, welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV.
Yeah, many thanks to be here after a long day.
Okay, after a long day. All right, let's begin with this story where AFN, let's start with this particular one. The AFN, that is Athletics Federation of Nigeria, have actually dissolved all committees ahead of Olympics and African Games qualifier. And we know for Tonobok, they are looking at, in conjunction with the minister, like you mentioned on the morning show, that they want our athletes to be free of doping and whatever, but all standing committee that was constituted last year in 2023 has been dissolved, and I know a new committee will be constituted in time for the All African Games qualifier and then the Olympics qualifier. What do you make of this?
Well, it's a normal thing to dissolve committees. Even in politics, the committees are being dissolved left, right, and center after they've achieved their aim. This one, I don't know if they've achieved the aim, but it's a good one. They've dissolved it, set up another committee. Let's look to see what this new committee will bring. Yes, this is what I can now say. It's a good one, dissolving committees and setting up new ones. Like I said, Paris 2024 is not too far away, and we need everything to be intact heading into that big, massive Olympic Games.
Okay, heading into that big, massive Olympic Games, let's leave the AFN and let's look at this particular story. We'll still come back to that of the AFN, but let's quickly look at this story. Anthony Joshua has predicted Usyk beating Tyson Fury. You know, this fight has been on. At some point we would have had this fight, but this time around our own Anthony Joshua has predicted Usyk to beat Tyson Fury. I don't know if you agree with Anthony Joshua. For Anthony Joshua, you know, he got back-to-back wins in 2023, which was a good year for him, and he's gradually climbing back to that where he used to be, and he have a fight, probably a date and everything about that fight. We'll be hearing about that a few weeks from now. By next month, they will be having the press conference of that fight. That is Anthony Joshua against Francis Ngannou of Cameroon, former MMA fighter. But no, we are not talking about that now. But he has come out to say when Tyson Fury and Usyk meet, if that fight will definitely come up, Usyk will carry the day. I don't know if you agree with him.
Well, why is Joshua saying that? My question to him, is it because Usyk beat the bejesus out of him some time ago? I think that fight
he has fought both fighters. Okay.
So is that why
Tyson Fury and Usyk?
Okay, I'll give it to him because he has tested, you know,
both fighters.
Both fighters. He experienced, they say, is the best teacher, so he is in a position to say who will win. But it's going to be a blockbuster fight. Fury, the Gypsy King versus Usyk. Top fight, you know, both fighters like to go, at each other. So we're looking forward to seeing a kind of fight from the weigh-ins, from the press conference, which is for the promotion and of the fight and the build-up. We'd love to see. I love that about boxing. You know, when Anthony Joshua came around and started, you know, pulling the punches, you know, it brought back the heavyweight division, which was collapsed and dead. So in about 6 years now, 5 years down the line, the heavyweight division has been standing tall, you know, and going, you know, stronger in terms of promotion, bouts, arrangements. Even the amount of money that is set aside for bouts has continuously increased and improved. So it's a good one. We're looking forward to that fight. First of all, the promotion. But if you ask me to put a quick prediction, I think the Gypsy King has got something about him controversial. And don't be surprised, he may just pull out before this fight happens.
Okay, Riyadh, that is Saudi Arabia, has been hosting the biggest fights in the world right now. I think boxing has shifted to the Asian continent, and Riyadh is the center of is at the center of it all. What's the secret of shifting? Is it because that is where, because even football, gradually, is moving that way? You know, all the footballing club, the likes of Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, taking big players. Ronaldo is there, Benzema, N'Golo Kante. We have a lot of big names when it comes to football in the Saudi Arabia Professional League. Now, boxing also, all the big fights for quite some time now have been staged in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. What is the secret, and how did they get all of this?
Well, to put it in quotes, just a bit of sarcasm, is what they call state-sponsored doping. Well, the oil-rich states, you know, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, they are heavily backed by the government, which is not illegal, it is legal, and they are attracting a lot of, you know, these sporting events, not just in football alone. The football is continuously growing. They are promoting their league to ensure that it stands out. Hopefully, we'll see teams, you know, from the Saudi Arabian League participate in continental competition with teams, you know, from the Champions League and all whatnot. But again, boxing is another big strength of theirs. You know, the promotion is heavy, and we see a lot of bucks in the region of about $1 million put aside for boxing bout. So that's very impressive. They are doing this not just with football, but with other sports too. Even women's football, you know, in Saudi Arabia is on the horizon. We have our Super Falcons defender, Ashley Plumter. Now, you know, in Saudi Arabia, who was scoring goals left, right, and she even hit a hat-trick. Yeah, we have a Moroccan. She hit a hat-trick one time, and she won Most Valuable Player of the Month or Woman of the Month, you know, and didn't play for the Falcons. I don't know what happened, but, you know, I'm laughing because it's a good thing that we have players who are moving there, and that a restricted country are stringent with draconian laws when it concerns women's participation in some things, especially sports, in Saudi Arabia is improving, then that shows you that these guys want to unlearn, that these guys want to relax some of the things that may have been, you know, holding them back, and they're promoting it well. So I'm not really surprised with what they're achieving in boxing. Don't forget, Formula 1 2 also takes place in Riyadh, Saudi, with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So it's impressive what's coming out from Saudi Arabia.
Okay, it's impressive what's coming out of Saudi Arabian sports, but let's still dwell on this a little bit before we go from that topic. Now, there's this difference between Usyk is a southpaw boxer, and for Tyson Fury is an orthodox boxer. I know a lot of persons won't understand what is southpaw and orthodox. For the southpaw boxer, they go physically with their left. This is their powerful punch from the left. You know, the orthodox boxer use their right hand for their powerful punches, but the southpaw boxer, they have a lot of special attributes to them, and that is where Usyk is for the southpaws, and for the southpaw, I beg your pardon, and for Tyson Fury, he's an orthodox boxer, just like Anthony Joshua. Now, do you think with that advantage from Usyk is going to, because Tyson Fury is a fighter that also knows how to take you for long on the court, and for Usyk is a very brutal puncher. Yeah,
brutal, very brutal. He sent Anthony Joshua straight down. I saw his shadow leaving his body and back to the plane to Britain. Yeah, it was funny at the time. You know, this is a guy that, you know, has built himself, you know, to, you know, take on people. He has in this advantage of, you know, trying to maneuver and meander. But again, like you said, Fury, he knows how to take you the distance. Fury is not just about punching you and giving you one knockout. He could take you the distance and win on unanimous points, decision, you know, on counts. So we're looking forward to seeing how it happens. I'm eagerly anticipating the way in that the promotion ahead of the main boxing fight. I'm eagerly anticipating it.
Okay, we are eagerly anticipating it myself also. I'm looking forward to that fight. For both boxers, they are powerhouses when it comes to boxing in the world. And for Saudi Arabia, I think they are doing everything they can to shift the attention of the world to that area when it comes to sports. Okay, let's quickly leave a boxing story and go straight to France, where there was cup games also in France over the weekend. Let's quickly have the result on the screen. We have Lens against Monaco. It ended 2-2 right there. And then Pontellier lost to Lyon 3-0 at home. Thionville-les-Châteauneuf lost to Marseille 1-0. Bergerac-Périgord 2 against Le Bonnet 2-1. It ended DP against Laval 4-0 thrashing by Laval against DP. And we have Dina Leon FC against Reims 3-0 against Diner. We have Fiors against Saint Priest. It was 5-3 against Fiors, and Luhans Cruciox nil against Rennes 2. Also, Chambray nil, Toulouse 3, and Revel against Paris Saint-Germain. Kylian Mbappe getting hat-trick in that particular game. These are cup games. Or we have cup games, the FA Cup in England. We have also cup games in the French league.
Yes, cup games are surprising in any league. You could get knocked out by, you know, what giant killers. I recall some giant killing teams back there in England who constantly, you know, punch above their weight. Good result for Paris Saint-Germain. I'm not looking at the scoreline, but the whole performance. Mbappe hat-trick is started 2024 on a bright note. Is a good one for him. Lyon continue their resurgence with a 3-0 success away. Toulouse also 3-0 away from home. A good result for them too. Rennes 3-0 away from home, and Marseille just a 1-0 away from home. So all these top French sides, not really surprising that they got the results they
they got the results they crave for, the result they deserve, because they are top side. They are playing in the League One proper. That's the top league right there in France. Okay, let's leave France and go straight to Italy. Though it was not cup games in Italy, it was the normal league. It was match day 19 in the Italian Serie A. Let's look at the results over the weekend. Some of the results on Sunday. We have Empoli lost to AC Milan 3-0 at home, and Torino beat Napoli. Oh, not good one for Napoli, 3-0, and Udinese lost to Lazio 2-1, and Salernitana, they had to at least put up a very good performance after they got 6-2 thrashing in the hands of Juventus in Coppa Italia. Now it was 2-1 against them at home, and Roma and Atlanta played out a 1-1 draw. Let's have the table. We are particularly about Napoli. Let's see after that defeat. Let's see where it has now left them on the table. Let's quickly have the first side of the table of the Italian Serie A now. Napoli is on the 9th position. They move away from the 6th position, from the 5th position to the 9th position. And now let's look at from number 1 to 10. We have Inter Milan on the top, at the top of the table, cruising with 48 points and 35 goal difference. Look at the goal difference between them and Juventus, who is second on the table with 46 points and 17 goal difference. We have AC Milan on the 3rd position with 39 points and 50 goal difference. Fiorentina is on the 4th position with 33 points and 8 goal difference. Bologna is on the 5th position with 32 points and 6 goal difference. Atlanta is on the 6th position with 30 points and 9 goal difference. Lazio on the 7th position with 30 points, and we have Roma on the 8th position after they played a 1-1 draw in their game, 29 points, and Napoli, they lost their own game. They are now on the 9th position with 21 points, and Torino is on the 27th position. Let's just leave the first side of the table. Okay, let's quickly run over the second side. We have Monza on the 11th position with 25 points. Genoa is on the 12th position with 21 points. We have Lecce on the 13th position with 21 points and -5 goal difference between them and Genoa. We have Sassuolo on the 14th position with 19 points, the same points with Frosinone, but goal difference separating those two teams. Udinese is on the 16th position with 17 points, and Salernitana, thank God, they have improved on their number of points. They now have 12 points, but they still remain at the bottom of the table with Empoli and Verona. These three teams, but I think Verona will go for the playoffs, but Empoli and Salernitana, if it remains this way, that means they will be relegated. Verona will have to go for the playoff. But let's go back to the first side of the table and look at Napoli performance. They lost to Torino 3-0. What is happening to that team? Walter Mazzarri has not really getting a hold of this team.
Well, the season is not coming to an end today or tomorrow. That's the good thing for Napoli. You know, they still have time to, you know, recover themselves. They still have time, you know, to turn around their ill fortunes from a season that is looking disastrous. First of all, Rudy Garcia was asked to leave. I don't know why. And then Walter Mazzarri is not getting the results. You know, sometimes as a CEO, you need to take a lot of strict decisions, or a lot of decisions. You know, sometimes it might be cruel, a decision that could come back to give you a bite on the backside. And maybe this is looking like what it is with Aurelio De Laurentiis. We know how difficult he can be.
Very difficult man.
You know, so Napoli, not really good one. Losing away to Torino. Osimhen has just barely left, and they are being beaten blue-black like this. And he's going to stay away for almost a month. So how would Napoli survive?
If Super Eagles progress, that means...
That's why I said for almost a month.
They are going to miss him for 2 months, because immediately after the Nations Cup, he needs to rest.
No, he goes back straight in.
But you can't throw him back into the team.
At least 3 days, then he's back in. Osimhen is a machine. You can't miss him for that long. And then good result for Juventus, 2-1. They are still continuing the hot chase on Inter. You know, Inter have Juventus breathing down their neck. AC Milan themselves have not done too badly. A good result for them too. Fiorentina, as you can see there. But Inter, you know, survived by the Whiskers. They got a 2-1 success. That was on Saturday. Well, it could have easily been a draw because what was the other team they played with? Missed a penalty in the 98th minute at that time. A penalty was given and the guy struck the base of the post.
I think that was against Monza.
Yes, against Monza. So it was a tight old game, a very difficult game for the Nerazzurri. But these are the sort of games that at the end of the season, when you win a trophy, you look back at the precious 3 points where it wasn't looking or you know, likely that you got. So good one for Inter as they continue their, you know, stride.
As they continue their stride of getting that trophy in the Italian Serie A. We know that Napoli are the defending champions after 33 years of waiting. They got it last season and now they are even nowhere near the first 4 positions in the Italian Serie A. And that is how it used to be in the Italian Serie A. Inter Milan, Juventus and AC Milan. These 3 teams find their way to the Champions League. Are we going back to those days where we used to see these 3 teams?
Maybe Jose Mourinho's Roma will have a say.
Let's see how it goes. Let's leave the Italian Serie A. Games in the FA Cup continues in England. We have just fixtures for tonight. Just one game tonight in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and it's Wigan Athletic against... I know Manchester United fans will not want me to use this word, but that is what it is, against a team that is struggling. If you say they are struggling, it means they are a very porous team. I'm trying to look for another adjective to qualify them, because right now Manchester United is no longer Manchester United.
Manchester United
the man is there, but the Chester is out of it.
Yeah, the Chester is out of it. The man is there, and even the man that is there has been reduced to something beneath you know, his usual standards. Manchester United are on serious club. They do not know what they are doing, in my opinion. If you have this number of coaches get past, you know, the club in this number of years and nothing tangible to show for it, then it means there is a problem. Back in the day, or in yesteryear, Chelsea used to do a hiring and firing job, but we saw that when Chelsea do a hiring and firing job, it usually ended in maybe they win a Premier League or they won other cups
or they even get to the Champions League final.
But it's not the case with Manchester United. Perilous, poor. The names are there to describe them. The players are bigger than the management at the club. Yes, because if players are not bigger than management in the club, I don't see how Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, or even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who has been tagged a PE teacher, Ralf Rangnick, who coaches like Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola have had trainings under, you know, have passed through this club, and they are all not good enough. And then when the Erik ten Hag came last season, we saw some improvement. They finished 3rd on the table. They still won a trophy for the first time in a long while. But this season, yes, injuries have dealt them a massive blow. There's no doubt about that. But what is happening with the players who are available? You see players who cannot run. You see players who are uninterested in the games. You see players who are not doing well. So what is the management saying to the players? Some of the players at Manchester United cannot play at Real Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, or even at Liverpool. Because when they have the first 6 months, the coach is going to say, I don't need this player. And even if this player was signed to a 5-year deal, the management will cut the deal short.
I hope Manchester United fans will not look for you. Okay. All right. Tonight, that game will be coming up against Wigan Athletic in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. The only fixture for the 3rd round FA Cup in England. All right. Let's quickly take these 2 transfer story on the show. Now, Juventus has turned their back, no longer interested in signing Kevin Phillips. They've turned their back on that deal, Kevin Phillips of Manchester City. And let's quickly look at this second one. I think this one is looking good for Real Madrid, where PSG Kylian Mbappe to sign for Real Madrid at the end of his contract. His contract will expire in 2025. I want you to react to this quickly before we leave the studio. Now, for Kylian Mbappe, do you think at the end of 2025, that deal going to Real Madrid will actually come true?
For every transfer window, there is always a linkage between Real Madrid and Kylian Mbappe. Up till now, Real Madrid are still searching for that bride in Mbappe and are yet to get him. Well, this is going to be difficult because Paris Saint-Germain wouldn't allow their priced assets to just live like that. I think the good thing will be for Mbappe to, you know, renew his contract again so that PSG can
2025.
Yes, so that PSG can recoup enough of money the funds
and cash on it.
You know.
Okay, that is where we leave it on Sports Update this evening from Trust TV. David Oko, thanks for coming again this evening to talk sports with me. Yeah. It's a wonderful one having you here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, that is it on Sports Update. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.
First goal of the day for Blatter United. Blatter won by Arsenal. What a goal! That was controversial, but still hold on the ball here. And now lovely interception from Ambrose. And there's a long ball there. No offside. The flag brought down. Albert Hilary. 1-1 with the goalkeeper. Albert makes it 2-0 the things to Yakubu Adams. Adams beats Inyoye. Long ball. And Hilary. And there's a third for Hilary. What a day in office.
Here between Plateau United and Bayelsa United. A decent game Albert Hilary has had, a decent game Yakubu Adams has had. He's been able to, you know, man the midfield, and we're seeing similar opportunities again from Nerot Silas, who is looking to make it fall! And always in the perfect positions. Back to Daniel Itodo. Nerot Silas, who goes a little bit deep, and he passes to Chineze Izuchukwu, who makes a strike. That is a beautiful goal! A beautiful assist for Nerot.